Okay, this is just a short little video to show you guys what I use as my setup for catching perch. And basically it's a Carolina rig. I use a 10-pound braid, and I've got a 1/4 ounce sliding sinker and a bead, my swivel, and then I go to 8-pound just monofilament for my leader. And these are the hooks I use. And this is pretty much the best thing to use for perch. It'll catch, I've caught stripers, steelhead, and jack schmelt on this as well. And just the 6-inch Gulp Camo Sandworm. So anyway, there you go. Those are the hooks. This is the bait. And what I do with my hook setup, I basically tie 2 of those hooks on the end of the leader, and just tie the first one on and then the second one at the very end. It's kind of important to replace the hooks after a couple days because they get pretty dull from getting dragged through the sand. At least the second one gets dragged more than the first one. The first one, the fish really don't get hooked on quite as much as the second one, because they come up from the tail of the worm and they usually grab onto that second hook. What I have found is that you want to use the whole worm. I've heard that it's good to cut them in half and use little pieces, but I've just had way better luck using the whole worm. So the way I do it is take the first hook. There's obviously the head is in the front, and the tail, it tapers down. The fish are always going to grab it this way. So the first hook is really just to guide the worm through the water. And there again, the sharper the hook is, the easier it's going to thread through these worms, and it's not going to chew up the worm as easily. These worms hold up pretty well. You always want to keep the bag sealed, the Ziploc bag that they come in sealed, and try to keep the worm as straight as possible with as little of that hook showing as you can, so the fish don't see the hook. So there's your first hook. Make sure that hook isn't extended, beyond the tip of the worm, because the fish, it makes a difference. If the hook starts showing, the fish just don't bite as often, sometimes never. So, and then this second hook, I usually put about halfway down. If you want to make it easier to catch fish, you could have the hook further down towards the tail. But I found that if you do it that way, then the fish will bite, and that hook's going to get way deep in their mouth, and it's going to be harder to save the fish. So anyway, that's how I do it. And there it is, right there. So hopefully that helps. And there's other baits you can try, but this has been by far the best, most effective way to catch perch and a story, But maybe it depends on where you are in California. I fish anywhere from as far north as like Point Reyes to Morro Bay area. So these worms, basically, if you're digging for sand crabs, you'll come across these worms from time to time in the sand, and that's what these look like. So that's it. All right, hope that helps. Bye.